with me, I'm quite fortunate enough to be joined by none other than Liam Smith. How are you, Liam?
Cool, mate, you?
Yeah, very well. I don't like introducing you as former WBL World Champion. I prefer world title contender. I think that one's got a better ring to it.
Whatever, as long as there's world title tagged to it, I don't mind.
The world title bit's got to be mentioned in there somewhere.
Yeah, it has, but I'll be world champion again soon enough.
Firstly, you've got a massive task on Saturday. Everyone's excited, and it's been described in the trade as a real pick-em fight. Can you firstly talk to me about this fight and how excited you are to put it on the line against Liam Williams?
I'm very excited now we're here. You know, it's Saturday. I've had a very good camp, sparred, hundreds of rounds, and I'm looking forward now to being back on the big stage, a big show. I haven't been on it since the Canelo fight, so it's one I'm looking forward to doing and getting people talking about me again. I think people have kind of forgot about me. That's me. I don't think they've written me off. I just think they've forgot. Boxing's been booming the past 7 months and I haven't been in the ring, so I think they've just kind of forgot about me, put me to the back of the mind. But after Saturday, they'll be talking about me again.
I know you couldn't spar the amount of rounds you needed to or wanted to for the Canelo preparation. Having been able to do what you want and fulfil your full training obligations, how has that made you feel? How do you feel within yourself?
Very good. I feel very, very good shape. You'll see Saturday. I'm in well better shape than I was, for the Canelo fight. I was in very good shape. I don't want to sound like I'm making an excuse. I was in very good shape for the Canelo fight. Why I went ahead with it, it was just I didn't know until I got in the ring. My timing was totally off, and against a very good fighter, you'll come unstuck if your timing's as off as mine was. And obviously, I was up against it anyway, and I paid a big price because it was going to be a big ask anyway, even if my timing was there, and it weren't. So I paid the price for that. I'll have no worries and no excuses about that Saturday. My timing's there. I've sparred rounds. I know my timing's there, and you're going to see a good performance Saturday, and I will get people talking again.
Having been in with the likes of Canelo, had that big experience of fight week, had that hype that surrounds, yourself, you was there, you've lived it, that surrounds such a big moment. How do you think you'll handle coming back to these sort of big domestic clashes or fringe world title clashes, if you like?
Again, it would have been hard to come back to something not so big, but this is massive in Britain, and the more people that pick Liam Williams to beat me, the better, and there's people picking him to beat me. So better for me, and it hasn't been hard to get a forward at all. I think they were hoping I overlooked them, but I'm not, trust me, and you're going to see that Saturday because they're in for a big performance now, and I want to become world champion again, and I've done everything I've asked of me for this camp, so I'm looking forward to it.
As if bragging rights wasn't enough for this country, we've also got the added bonus of the WBO interim super welterweight title on the line. So what does it mean to you to get back in that title contention and back in that elite level mix?
Yeah, very good. Obviously, that's just like a carrot dangling, really. That's all that is to us. My focus, I'm 100% focused on Liam Williams. They hope I'm not. So that's why I am. I'm focused on Williams. I don't want to mention any other names. Like I say, that's just a thing dangling in front of us after it. Beat Liam Williams. Give it a couple of weeks after, and then I'll be promoted to world champion again. Then I can look at some big fights and big names again, which is where I want to be. But first and foremost is Williams, and I'm not just looking to beat Williams, I'm looking to make a statement again. That's what I said before. I want to get people talking about me again. The more people that pick Williams to beat me, when I go out and do the job that I expect I'm going to do on him, I'm going to have people thinking I did not expect him to do that. So that's where I'm at the minute, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Williams has got a lot of hype around him. He's obviously built up a reputation as a bit of a ferocious puncher. Looking at his record, probably the best wins are Heffron and maybe Gary Corcoran. How does your opponents that you face compare to those guys?
Again, I said you can look into it what you want. I was meant to fight Ronnie Effin for the centre area title. He pulled out 3 times at 10 fights or something. Corcoran comes down to welterweight after it, shows how big he was or how strong he was. I'd have to chop my leg off to make welterweight. So I think there's differences there. You look at man, 2 years ago I was British champion when I beat Mark Thompson. That was talked about, not as big as this, but along the lines, this people saying Thompson was going to beat me. He was coming in good form. He'd had more knockouts than I'd had wins. The same with Jason Wellborn. He'd only lost I think he lost one at a fight early on. Then he lost to Frankie Gavin, and people, because they didn't do so well after I beat them, doesn't mean they weren't bad fights when I fought them. I fought them when I said where he was 2 years ago. I was British and Commonwealth champion, and that's what I mean by it. Now Wellborn's come back and had a good win against obviously Marcus Morrison, so that win doesn't look so bad on paper now. Obviously I stopped him in 6 rounds. But you can take what you want regardless of opponents. I'm Liam Smith, he's Liam Williams, and it will come down to us two, not Gary Lockett, not Joe Gallagher. And that's what I think he'll play a big part. I think he needs Gary.
I know you mentioned this between yourself and Williams, but what's the mood like in the gym at the moment? I mean, obviously a real tough week for Joe Gallagher and the team last week. How do you sort of move on and everyone picks himself up after that?
Yeah, you've got to pick yourself up. Boxing's a lonely game. You know, we need to bounce back off that. You know, we lost. Marcus was a gamble. Thought it was going to, you know, calculate the risk. It never paid off for him for whatever reasons. Andy Kroll lost to an unbelievable fighter in Linares. You know, it's not a bad week for us, as in, you know, we're losing fights we shouldn't be losing. You know, he lost to Linares, who, without his own vulnerabilities, is one of the pound for pound best. If he didn't have his vulnerabilities, he's up there with your pound for pound best. And that's just where we are. We lost for the Ring Magazine World Title. We haven't gone on a bad streak. You know, what we do is we dust ourselves off, we go again, and next time it's me and Butler, and that's this Saturday, and we'll get the ball rolling again for future fights. You know, for Stephen, Paul, Callum, and the rest of the lads who are going to follow.
We're expecting a great contest on Saturday. Thank you very much for coming to Catching the Show. It's always a great pleasure to get you on, champ, and we look forward to catching you at the weigh-in on Friday.
Nice one,
Thank you.
Nice one.